Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Don Boy 718. I just want to thank you all for tuning in. I just want to start off by saying that the year 2024 has just started with a lot of continuous bangs and surprises and follow-ups to this new beginning. To say the least, I want to start by welcoming you all to Don Boy 718. And this year has already become the legendary coaches year. I'll start with the Michigan Wolverines, who just won the CFB championship. That's the college football championship for those of you that don't know. And they had a good coach. They had a really great coach, Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh spent 5 years at Michigan, graduated. He went on to get drafted into the NFL, and he played 15 seasons from 1987 to 2000, playing with teams like the Chicago Bears, the Indianapolis Colts, Baltimore, and the Chargers. Then he was the assistant coach for Oakland in 2002. He coached San Francisco 49ers, for a few years, 2011 to 2014, prior leading them to the NFC Championship 3 times. That's 3 times on a major level, okay? Then he took the job in college football, coaching Michigan, after already having some kind of success or, growth in the NFL. Coach Jim Harbaugh decided to give the Wolverines a shot, and in 2014, and 9 years later, currently in 2024, he's leading the Wolverines to a CFB championship. Last year, they went out pretty cold. They were destroyed by Georgia. They were sent home, and just to let you know, he had a lot of knowledge to share with J.J. McCarthy and Blake Corum. And the team just guiding them to this championship run. It had to be just something awesome. A lot of dreams come true. And the fact that J.J. McCarthy has had a great passing year once again, and Blake Corum, he had a wonderful running year, breaking records, and took the Wolverines' all-time rushing touchdowns crown. This tells you something, that Jim Harbaugh has this team working and going in the right direction. It just is what it is. You're a sports fan, you want the accuracy, and this is it. Next, we'll have Nick Saban. Nick Saban, who many of you probably have had a round or two of disappointment or dislike, because the man has taught these young guys to win so well, especially if this is one of your teams right here, the Georgia Bulldogs. The winningest championship coach in college football history, with 7 CFB national titles. He coached college football for 28 years, starting with the Toledo Rockets back in 1990, where they went 9-2, and then he went on to spend 4 years under Bill Belichick in the NFL. I don't know if many of y'all knew, but Nick Saban was in the NFL before. He was an assistant coach. Assistant coach, you can say, because a defensive coordinator is an assistant to the main coach. Bill Belichick was the main coach, and Nick Saban was his defensive coordinator for 4 years in Cleveland. After that, he left and went and took a job with LSU. This is where he won the championship the first time with LSU, because there was some kind of controversy when LSU brought home this championship back in 2003. And after that, when he finished in 2004, he went on to coach the NFL for 2 years in Miami. It didn't work out. This is where he knew his calling was back in college football, and he gave it another shot. The man signed up and took the deal with the Michigan Wolverines to be able to make sure that he can go hard and grow some young men to be the best that they can be. 17 years at the University of Alabama, coaching the Crimson Tide, where he flourished. I mean, this man, he went 201 and 29 with 11 of those losses in the first 4 years of his tenure coaching the Alabama Crimson Tide. Damn, that's some shit. And his teams, they all finished unbeaten twice. Never lost 2 games in a season since 2008. That's a long time. To not lose 2 games in a season since 2008 is 2024. And he finished in the AP top 10 every year ever since 2008. That's a long time. Now, he says the goal was always to help players create more value and for them to be able to have a better future and be the best player that they could be and be more successful. But it was after going 15 and 17 over 2 years as Miami Dolphins head coach, where this man, he went 5 and 11 in the NFL and had a disappointing loss and season-ending loss to the Indianapolis Colts. That made him stronger and better. He came back to college football with more knowledge, more experience, and knowing what to do. And because of that, he was able to say that he coached 44 young men that were NFL first round draft picks in the first round. That's big. He also had some great students. And these ain't no name students. I know y'all know his students. Kirby Smart, University of Georgia, Dabo Sweeney, Clemson, Lane Kiffin, and Ole Miss, and Steve Sarkisian. So this man, he's had a roster of talent and great people that has come under him to learn from his legendary mindset of creativity and love of the sport of football. And you see where he learned in connection and was bonded with our next coach, who's not retiring. However, he is leaving his team that he spent so much time with, an organization where he's become like a father to so many people that he was able to get on the field, so many players and folks that spent time around him and begin to go from personal to business and understanding, because if you're spending time with people on the regular and frequently, then they start to become family to you and really great friends. So Bill Belichick, he started off with the New York Giants. This man won his first 2 chips. I know many of you say, okay, he has 6. He has 6 as a head coach. But like I told you before, this man is family because he's from the New York Giants. For 1986 and 1990, for the 2 championships the Giants won back then under Bill Parcells, guess who was there? Bill Belichick, the student at that time. The great teacher was a student at one time and point. This man, he went on to leave the organization. He gave it a shot with the Jets, and then he left. It was not going to work out with the New York Jets. They are nothing like the New York Giants. This man, Bill Belichick, he went on to take some other coaching ventures before landing with the Patriots. And once the Patriots picked him up, it was on from there, because he had guys like Drew Bledsoe in the beginning that were not going to finish the cut. But he was starting to make the guy better on his way out the door. And this is where Tom Brady entered. And Tom Brady became one of his best on the field sons and off the field friends, and someone that he can build with and continuously teach and monitor. Great athleticism, great common sense. And Bill Belichick now, after spending all these years, 24 years as the New England Patriot, 24 years with this organization, this man bringing them 6 championships, 3 AP top 10, 3 AP Coach of the Year awards, raising MVPs like Tom Brady, Gronkowski, Seymour, many great guys on that team, a lot of great students. And I just want to say that out of these three coaches, Bill Belichick really sticks out. They all stick out in their own way. And pause, they are just legendary at what they do. Bill Belichick, him going through his situations and taking his path, and having a student like Nick Saban, who would have many students under him that he can teach his teaching to. Because Nick Saban went to Kent State, so Kent State, I don't remember them really winning any CFB titles or anything big. However, I do know that these guys have had to travel from Jim Harbaugh, from his experience, from his father, Mr. Harbaugh, who also has some great coaching talent and a great tenure, to his brother, John Harbaugh, who has coached championships on the NFL level in the Baltimore Ravens organization. And now there's talk about Jim Harbaugh potentially taking a deal in the NFL as a coach after he's completed everything in college football and nothing to prove. So I just think that now there are some things that we can just all agree on between Jim Harbaugh, Bill Belichick, and Nick Saban. At least those three guys are going out on good notes, unlike Mr. Pete Carroll. Mr. Pete Carroll, he has been let go, separate from the Seattle Seahawks organization. And he's not leaving the organization. He's just not going to be their coach anymore. He's still going to remain as an advisor with the team to help work with talent and recruit new talent and help them develop a program to win again. They have Geno Smith and they have some picks and some guys there. However, the man has discussed with higher management something that can be beneficial to both parties and something that can last much longer. Mm-hmm. So based on that, there you have it. Don Boy 718 just wanted to bring you up to date because this has been an amazing week. The week has started. The second week of 2024 has started with so much news and a lot to report. Football, if you're a fan, I know you appreciate all the great things that comes along with more than just the tackles or the runs or the passes. It's very exciting. It's an adrenaline rush. It's one of my favorite sports too. And I'm pretty sure it's the same for you. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Check out plenty of great news that we're going to have for you on our social media platforms. DonBoy718 and Brooklyn Don Boy. This is going to be on social media from Facebook to YouTube, also Instagram. So check us out and show love. Peace and blessings. I know it's the weekend. But wow, just to think, Jalen Milroe is going to return possibly back to Alabama and be under new coaching. That staff that's there, that team. The Michigan Wolverines, Blake Corum, I believe, is declaring for the NFL draft as he should. So Harbaugh, he'll be missed, but he'll be remembered. And Bill Belichick, Mac Jones, and the rest of this team shall be left in good hands. The Patriots, I'm sure that they'll have some good people in mind. Replacing replacing Nick Saban at Alabama, there's been some talk about people like Dan Lanning, the coach over at Oregon. So I don't know if he wants to separate from the Oregon Ducks team and make his way over here, but he said he's not leaving. I think he's taking the deal. So there are other names that swirled around also for replacement of Nick Saban at Alabama. Any new news, I will report to you and let you know.